Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the St. Louis podcast. I am your glorious host today, Eric Brown, sitting next to Adam Ferris. Today we have Caleb Knuth on the St. Louis podcast, and we're going to get into the weeds with him and his business. But before we do, this is the St. Louis podcast. Each and every Friday, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, we drop an episode on all major podcasting, audio, and video platforms where we meet with the most badass people and creators, talk about business, entrepreneurship, and current events. Let's jump into it. Caleb, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I've been better.
Yeah.
I'm hurting last night. I'm hurting from last night. Shout out Lit. I was there. I smoked 2 cigars last night.
Mm-hmm.
I brushed my teeth last night and everything. Took a shower. I woke up this morning and I still taste it.
Tar mouth?
I can't get it out of my mouth.
Yeah. Not good.
Yeah.
But I had a great time last night.
Yeah.
Had to wake up early, did some networking. So we're going to try and push through here. With that said, let's go ahead and cheers it up, boys.
Hey, cheers.
Happy
Thanks for having me on the show.
Absolutely. We needed this. That's some tasty stuff.
Is it?
Yeah.
I gotta wait a little bit. It's too early.
Yeah. Wild Turkey, rare breed, barrel proof, the bourbon. It's about $45 near you if you can find it. One of the best bottles for about $45-50.
It's good. Can they sponsor the show?
They're big.
Man,
That'd be awesome.
Put a pitch out there. Maybe they're hear this.
That'd be good. Yeah. No, we need. Hey, shout out any local distilleries around St. Louis that wants a sponsorship. We would love to advertise you right here on the desk every single week, and of course, drink to it too. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right.
Weekly.
That's right.
You should look at Switchgrass. You guys had that?
I have.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Should get them on here. Sarah.
Yeah. I've had switchgrass. Yep.
Shout out Sarah.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out Sarah. Shout out switchgrass. That's $100. I'll send a Venmo request. All right. So we got Caleb Knuth. We got founder. Oh, I'm on the wrong one here.
You'll learn.
I'm on the wrong one here. All right. So you're founder and owner of Set Health Solutions and Set Financial Group. Creator of the Population Health Plan, expert in mortgage-free life, which was founded here in St. Louis. But before we talk about any of that, let's go ahead and talk about the markets real quick. Meta lost $200 billion in market cap valuation. That's crazy.
It is.
$200 billion. I think the stock fell 20%,
My gosh.
19% on Wednesday. And what I saw that 98% of Meta's revenue comes from digital advertising.
Okay.
Nothing else that they do,
Mm-hmm.
which is crazy.
It's been
Yeah.
a crazy week for everything. FTC.
Could you imagine
Meta,
getting that
everything.
call?
Yep. Yeah.
Could you imagine waking up to that? You woke up with cigar taste and
Yeah, he wakes up with
Yeah.
20% of his market cap gone.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My
That's-
gosh.
It's crazy. But I mean, it makes sense. It's coming, right? With this whole industry, it's just it seems like all of these way overvalued.
Yeah.
All of these, because Meta was one of the main companies that made up for a majority of the stock market revenue. I think our gains this year and last year was like 5 different companies. Nvidia, Meta, Tesla, and like a couple others made up like a majority of the gains.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
Well, I think
And-
it's going to come full circle because you have Facebook and you have TikTok, and TikTok is under the chopping block right
Yeah,
now.
that's what I think too.
So Meta, everybody's like, oh, okay, we're gonna,
Dump it.
see a big spike in Meta and
Mhm.
that realm. But with TikTok having such a strong following, I think the markets they're going to stabilize at some point. I think Meta's going to come back up a little bit, and Facebook is, theoretically they're getting restrictions put on them and things like that. But
Yep.
that shouldn't affect all that much. I think it evens out here pretty soon because people are just kind of in like a, it's the, election, time, and just dangerous when that happens.
Yeah. Well, I guess they're all pushing this AI thing. So Zuck, he's talking about Meta's effort to build a leading AI. We got, we just said that Elon Musk essentially said that he wants people to think about Tesla not as a car company, but an AI,
Yeah.
robotic AI company.
robotics.
Yep.
Yeah. It's like
I did see though that I forgot Marcus Brownlee, I believe, had a video, and I don't even think it was actual AI, but I believe Tesla's creating like robots that can do like work, like
yeah,
human
like
work.
flip
Yeah.
burgers.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Well, their cars are built 100% automated.
Yeah.
already.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Hey, but the funny thing is, if they're building
Sort of.
robots, they
Sort of.
use robots from another company to build
Yeah.
build cars. My buddy actually works for a company called KUKA, and like has been down to their plant in Austin tons of times, and like KUKA robots are the ones building these
Yeah.
cars. So I don't know what he's building, but like,
Like a
getting automated.
robot that looks like you.
yeah, right. He's gonna be interviewing me instead of you guys next year.
Yeah. So you would walk into a restaurant, and it would be.
yeah,
I mean, you might have the general manager as a human.
yeah, maybe
Everything else, the servers,
Yeah.
robots,
cooks.
Yeah.
robots.
As long as I don't have hair on my food, hey, I'll take it. Like,
At least they'd probably get the temperature right.
yeah,
Yo, medium rare. Don't
Yeah.
fuck it up.
Yeah.
yeah,
How many times do you order something and it's not cooked the way you wanted it?
yeah,
How
Especially
hard is it to
steak.
cook it to a temperature?
yeah,
You'd be
Or-
surprised.
Or burgers. It's like,
yeah.
come on.
Well, I mean, there's
Why are
like
you
a-
overcooking my burgers and steaks? What's wrong with you?
I think they have restrictions to it. I think they're not allowed to make it as rare as like most people want it, because of laws.
I'm a medium rare guy across the
Mhm.
board.
Yeah.
Even
That's why you go
burgers.
smash burgers, just because they can't mess it up.
That's true.
They just cook through.
That's
There
true.
you
That's
go.
it. Scrape that from the grill.
You just brought me back memories of going to Steak and Shake. Dude, Steak
that
and
was
Shake
good.
back in the day
Yeah,
was
back in the
amazing.
day.
I don't think there's a single one in St. Louis still open, is there?
I think the one on Hampton, maybe.
That's it. Just one that.
There's like a couple. No, Katie said there's one in South County, I think, too.
Yeah, Fenton. There's one out by Fenton on 30.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one in Wildwood,
No.
shout out the one in Wildwood, was apparently rated the worst.
Oh,
The
Oh.
worst out of all of
Oh,
the
gosh.
locations. It was
Yeah.
funny because I had a couple buddies that worked there, and they're like, this
Mhm.
place is a shithole.
yeah.
And I was like, it's my shithole.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't care. I love this place.
Oh my gosh.
You got a double cheese, some chili.
Some
Dude,
chili.
the chili there was incredible.
Don't say that.
I
Yeah.
always smash the chili. And then, of course, you got to get some sort of ice cream shake, something.
Yeah.
You gotta
Mhm.
get a shake.
little chocolate malt.
Ooh.
Not
With
bad.
the
Back you up.
Frisco melt, the fry, cheese sauce.
Dude, Frisco melt was heat.
Still
Yep.
remember the
chi-
order.
Yep.
I still remember the
You
order.
guys know the
Mhm.
menu too well.
That's right.
I grew up in
That's
North
right.
Chicago, so Culver's was where we
Oh.
went. We didn't, Steak and Shake was not the jam.
Culver's is it.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I
Yeah.
had Culver's, I was at Lake of the Ozarks. My grandma had a place down there, and I
Okay.
used to go visit her every summer. And it was that Culver's had just opened, and it was the
I know the
first.
exact one you're talking about.
Yeah, the first time I had ever been inside of Culver's, I walked out. I was like, "Whoa!" as a kid,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Butterburgers, the shit." I was like,
Yep.
"What is a butterburger?"
know.
And I ate that butter. I was like, "Oh my god!"
Double
Yeah.
butter burger with
Yep.
cheese. Substitute the fries for
It's
cheese
almost
curds.
There we
lunchtime,
go.
man.
Done.
Let's go.
We need
Gosh.
hey
So-
Matt, let's put an order in for some food on DoorDash.
Yeah. Yeah. Also,
get some-
Culver's, if you want to sponsor you and Sarah.
Hey,
Hey, they are family, or franchise owned or something. Maybe somebody will.
now we got
Yeah.
Freddy's coming in though. What's
No.
up with Freddy's?
Nope.
Nah, dude, no.
good.
No.
It's okay. It's not as good though.
It's no Shake Shack. It's
yeah.
no Culver's.
I think
Yeah.
Shake Shack's overrated.
Yeah,
I think Shake
I
Shack's
do.
highly
I do
overrated.
too.
It's expensive. but
Because
it's
they're all
good.
over now. Like growing up in Chicago, they had like that was like the only one they had. It was like downtown Chicago.
We don't get it in and out.
Oh well.
We could utilize Portillo's.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will take
People
over.
drive from here to Chicago to go to Portillo's.
Yep.
For sure.
Yep.
We've had some
can't
flight
replace that
requests where
food.
people have wanted Portillo's.
Really?
Yeah. They're like,
my
fly it in.
gosh.
And they want it. It's not that big of a deal.
Like Uber Eats on flights.
So they're trying to.
but, well, they want that waiting for them on like
Oh.
their flight.
oh, okay.
So it makes it easy when the operator's out of Chicago, you just DoorDash the food to the airport. The airport probably pretty cold by the time it gets to you.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
you can warm up Portillo's. It's still pretty good.
I mean, there's so many up there. It's probably pretty close to the airport.
Yeah, yeah. That's just a quick
That's a
hour
crazy
flight.
request, though. Think about that.
Yeah,
Like, the
But-
dude's about to get on a flight and he orders Portillo's.
but,
like,
but it's good.
It is good.
It's really good.
I
Yeah.
hate eating on a plane.
I haven't eaten today, and I'm getting hungry.
I haven't
Yeah,
eaten today
same,
either, and we're
same.
drinking.
Same.
Yeah,
This is our lunch right here,
it'll
gentlemen.
be a
Hey.
long
Gentlemen and ladies, this is our lunch.
day.
Does that mean? Yeah, that just shows how busy we are. Or I don't know what else.
I usually
or-
don't eat till like
or
10.
not.
I usually
Yeah.
don't eat till like 10 or 11. I'm just not hungry in the morning. But
yeah, same.
I actually was reading something that intermittent fasting apparently for most people actually isn't good for you
Yeah,
because you're telling your
No.
body you're under stress.
Fraud. Been doing it for too long. I'm with it.
Yeah,
I don't remember the last time I ate breakfast.
I just don't like breakfast. It fucks with my stomach.
So you
I
agree,
don't feel
you
good.
agree you should fast?
You should
Yeah.
100% fast. Think about it.
Yeah.
The only time I eat
do at
breakfast
least till
on the
like
weekends, and it's
till
like
like 10
11.
or 11. But I mean, if you're waking up at like 9 o'clock, then you should fast till like 2.
If-
Like if you're getting up at like 5, 6, going to the gym, drink your coffee, get your IPA work done, right? Like your hardcore stuff,
Yeah.
or like the crap you don't want to do, like emails,
Mhm.
and then eat like lunchtime, or early lunch.
Yeah.
You
See,
know?
if Daddy Huberman tells me to do something, I'm doing it. You know?
Daddy human.
You got to do it.
Did you see the whole thing that came out about Andrew Huberman? They were trying to cancel him.
Yeah, can't ever be canceled.
I didn't know he was a player like that, though,
I don't even know
either.
who this is. I'm gonna look him up.
Andrew Huberman. He's
too
like
mind strong.
he's the neuroscientist that has gone like on every podcast.
Yeah.
He started the whole sauna,
Like the ideal
cold-
sleep schedule.
cold
Oh,
plunge.
Yeah.
Him and
you know,
Gary Brecka.
grounding.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Gary Brecka.
grounding.
They
Yeah.
go hand in hand.
Is he the one that?
Andrew Huberman goes hand in hand with Gary.
Yeah,
I should listen
Yeah,
to
and
his
like
stuff.
Joe
then.
Rogan and those guys.
Yeah.
Dana White.
a lot of bro science.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
A
But
lot
it's
of
all,
bro
it, all-
science.
it makes too much sense
Mm-hmm.
that it's like it's got to be true. Which
Yeah.
I mean, it does. Even like the grounding. He talks about fasting, cold showers,
Yeah.
or cold plunge. I don't have a cold plunge yet, but
I take cold showers.
Yeah, same.
Well, I end cold.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
I don't take a.
exactly.
It
I was
works,
talking to
though.
someone. they
You're
were-
crazy if you take a full cold shower.
I was just talking
Like,
to someone
dude.
last week. I was like, they said they don't have a cold plunge, but they take cold showers, and I was like, all the way through, they're like freezing from enter to exit. I'm like,
That's nuts.
no.
I've done it a couple times,
Nah.
and I feel like your hair gets like thick when it's cold.
Yeah.
Your hair is like, I'm
Yeah.
cold. I'm gonna stiffen up a little bit. But it all works. That like the Andrew Huberman. Like you ever seen those? Yeah, obviously you don't really know who he is.
I just
but
looked him up. Now I do.
the
Yeah.
the ideal morning routine is basically you wake up, no caffeine for 90 minutes.
yep,
You go straight and you go for like a walk or sit in direct sunlight. You come home, you get like a 90-minute or 60-minute work session in, or a workout or something like that, something productive.
mm-hmm.
Get the
And
blood
then you get your
flowing.
caffeine after your cortisol levels dropped. Sounds crazy, but it works. I did it.
That's literally what I did this morning.
I did it.
Yeah, I went to the gym, read, and then walked down my street.
Yeah.
And I was listening to podcasts.
Just once?
Well, there and back. Yeah.
Multiple
And
times.
then I had my coffee, and that was probably
Yeah.
like 2 hours or so after I woke up.
Yeah.
Maybe
I
like
can't get over working out in the morning.
No, I hate it.
Like working out at like 6 a.m. And 7 a.m. I just
Fuels you.
I hate it.
Does it?
Ah,
Nah, not for me.
yeah.
I just
Drains
get
me.
tired.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to go back to bed now.
But you probably have like natural energy. Like, are you extrovert or introvert?
Extrovert usually.
Are you introvert?
No, I'm definitely extrovert.
I'm like in between. I think that,
He's like the brother I never had with the same person.
I can be an introvert.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, I have days where I'm like, don't even talk to me. I'm not answering my phone.
Yeah,
I'm chilling,
same.
not talking to anyone.
Same.
Yep.
But that's because I overload myself too.
Yeah, but I mean, like as sales guys or business owners, we probably force ourselves to be more extrovert than we actually are.
oh,
For sure.
100%.
You know,
Yeah.
like growing up, nah, dude, peace out.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to deal with you guys.
Yeah.
But now it's like you force yourself to be extrovert. But I think that, like, if you like working out in the morning, like I do, it fuels you for the whole day.
I hate it. My
Yeah.
building, you can't get up there because all the WashU students live in there. It's all like
Mm.
nurses or
Oh, yeah.
in residency or whatever. You
Yeah.
go up there in the morning, it's 40 people doing Pilates and bullshit. It's like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm gonna go at midnight.
I like
Then you're
going
up all night.
I like going after work, like 6, 7 o'clock.
Nobody's
A
there.
good sunset.
The problem is, if I was married and had kids, that would probably be a awful time.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Morning once you
That's
have
what I'm not
kids-
looking forward to when I have kids and I'm married.
Your schedule.
having to force my schedule to be around my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. That's what I
I
gotta
think
do.
about it so often now. It's honestly kind of scary. I'm like, do I have a kid out there? It's just like,
Well, there's only one man at this table that can tell us. How is it?
How is having kids?
How is having kids and
Yeah,
balancing
yeah.
your schedule around it?
It
so you
depends on
have
what
to you have to do it in the
Yeah,
morning. You don't
yeah.
have any other time to work out.
Yeah, I've never gone at past like noon since I've had kids, and I have
Yep.
a 2.5-year-old and a 8-month-old, or well, almost 3-year-old. I mean, it depends on what you prioritize. Some people could care less about their kids and they just want to work and they just want to
Sure.
be themselves. So it's like I don't want that. That's why I'm self-employed. I was self-employed before I had kids, so that I could be around for them. That's like take my business away, don't take my kids.
Yep.
Like that's literally where I'm at. But it's important to like you have to do the things for yourself and for your if you want to be around for your kids and play with them on the floor, then you better not be fat and unhealthy and not
Yep.
be able to move.
Yep.
Yeah.
I've heard stories of people that have bent down one time and they busted their whole vertebrae in the back and they were paralyzed and never could
I
play
have
with
heard
their
that.
kids. They can't pick their kids up. I'm like, dude, it's like 20 pounds.
Yeah.
I've heard stories from that 30, 40-year-old guys, and I'm like almost 30, so I better. It becomes a priority.
Yeah.
You can't forsake it, but you don't want to do it during dinner time.
Yeah. An unhealthy parent's a weird thing. It's like, how do you keep up with your kids?
And how do you teach them? What do you teach them to be unhealthy?
Yeah.
You're definitely
Same
not
with-
the cool.
same with-
You can't be cool. You can't be the cool dad.
Yeah, and same with money though. Finances, like money's not like number one anymore, at least. And it's like, to me, but it's like if you're dead broke or you're not achieving to like have something stability, how are you going to teach them anything?
Yeah.
So
Sounds judgmental, but the amount of people that like have kids that just almost aren't in a financial position to do so. But then also we have a ton of people on this podcast that have amazing stories of coming out of, terrible situations.
yeah.
So it's like,
I think it forces you, if you don't have kids, to a point, you really have no responsibility.
Yeah, what's
your
motivating
responsibility is like if you really take a step back and you're like, damn, my life is hard. Okay. You're like in the morning, you're like, damn, I got to pay rent tomorrow or something like that. Like life's really not that bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that really affects you is your health or things like that until you have kids.
Yep.
Once you have kids, you full blown, you have something to worry about, something to care for. That's, I think, when you actually can start to not stress, but start to worry about. And then I think that is where the gears start turning.
Yeah.
And you're like, man, I got to really make something of this. Otherwise, my kids are going to have a, POS dad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you want to be the cool dad. You want to be the dad that everybody, wants to hang around and your kids are proud of.
Yep.
So I think that's why there's so many of those stories where,
it elevates. I think
you
it
have
elevates
kids
you.
and then you become successful.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think like personally, I think it changed like motivation and elevated like everything, like my business, why I want a business, how much like monetarily, how much.
Right.
But also like you could, there's like three quadrants of people, right? Like you either you're dead broke and you have a lot of time, or you work a lot and you still have no money. So you have no time and no money.
Yeah,
or,
that's the worst.
Or you have money and time, and that's like the ultimate goal. That's what everybody wants, even if they lie to themselves and say, no, I'll just work a good old job and I want to be comfortable. Dude, this world's not comfortable.
Most people, though, want to be comfortable. Like if you think
but debt over your head is not comfortable.
True.
If
you think about a circumstance, like we're all up in arms right now. We don't like Trump. We don't like Biden. It's just a weird thing. What I was gonna say, going back to about like having kids and things. Do you find it odd when someone wants to build a business, is super successful, is wealthy, but then doesn't have kids? It's like, what are you building this for? Just for yourself? Because not wanting to pass it to someone. I don't know. It's just a weird thing to me.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the opportunity to, pass a lot of this stuff down to my kids.
Create a legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's weird I was having a conversation last night about a super wealthy guy that owns a business here in St. Louis. He's like 60, plus, still does partying, dates, younger chicks. And I get it. But at some point, it's like is this what really life is all about still at 60?
Yeah.
Because if so,
there's more to it.
There's more life, man.
Yeah. It's a purpose-driven life, Some people don't have, but I mean,
I think
they're the ones that
from
go
childhood.
to bed sad, though. Sorry to cut you off, but like, they're the ones that like are probably depressed at night, or they hide behind that party, or they hide behind all this other stuff. It's like, the richest people don't dress or look rich, right? They drive modest cars, like they're not sitting there flaunting it. The ones that are flaunting it, they're broke, man, and always probably more than monetarily.
We were just talking about
can't say the name.
Someone in Miami. Some people would know. I mean, it's not like they're here locally, but a guy on Instagram from Miami. I'm familiar with his businesses. But, he always posts photos of like in nice cars with nice watches. And I'm like, is that stuff? First of all, are those watches fake? Number one.
Yeah.
Number two, if they're not, you are dead broke. You are spending all of your money on this shit. Or it's like with watches, it's not like you can rent them, right?
You don't have $500,000 of watches, but have a $200,000 house.
Right.
Yeah.
Not how that works.
Yeah.
So it's weird when people start flexing and then it's like, if you have what you want out of life, what is the point of flexing? Because the only point of flexing is to show off to people that at the end of the day, you're showing off online.
Yeah.
It's not like your friends give a shit about that.
Yeah.
The people that you actually care about you and you care about them, they don't care about that bullshit.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Yeah, not at all.
But it's for fake people online to hopefully like you.
Yeah. I mean, also like some people, it's like I don't know, like, and if you listen to like other successful people or like older people, most likely, it's like listen to them and like find out what their regrets are in life, you know, or what, and like none of them talk about, man, I wish I had one more Lamborghini or one more Rolex or one more this. Like they wanted time with the people they love, like which is typically the kids they forsake because they were building a business too much and not spending any time with their kids, or started too late in life to maybe even be able to. And like they have ex marriages, like multiples of them. You know,
100%.
it's like that's not like at your deathbed, you're not gonna sit there and be like, man, I wish I bought that yellow Lamborghini. No, you're gonna be like, man, I wish I didn't mess that marriage up, mess that relationship up. Like that's what they want. They want real relationships, connections. And I think, and like that's the thing about like people in our age group and even younger, like there's like 19-year-olds doing things that like 40, like people couldn't do till they were 40, like 10 years ago. You know, like they're like forget all that fake stuff. Let's just get to what really matters. Like some people just traveling where you can meet people. But connection, relationships is like number one.
100%. Here's what I'll say is you have, I mean, I'm younger. I haven't had the opportunity to have kids or anything like that yet. But never have I really looked back and been like, man, I really wish I wouldn't have spent that money. I wouldn't have wasted that money. But I'm very, very regretful of time I've wasted. Laying in bed too long, you know, entertaining a relationship that I really shouldn't have, that wasted time. Those are the things I'm, you know, actually upset about when I look back on. But never have I been like, man, I wish I wouldn't have bought that. I wish I wouldn't have smoked that cigar. But it's also I
only have one financial regret, and it was a past business decision.
And I think there's like even then you learned something from it. To a point. You know what I mean?
I learned about the sharks out to get me. That's what I learned.
But I've been there.
I lost a little bit of money on that deal.
And that's you know you lost money. Okay.
But I learned what I lost. I didn't lose that much money, to be honest. To be frank, it was like, I'm not going to say what it was. It doesn't matter. It wasn't a lot, but it wasn't a little, but it taught me a lot.
Not as bad as it could have been.
Because it really taught me, well, one thing, and I was actually having this conversation yesterday. It's like you can be a smooth talker. If you meet someone, you know, once or twice, they can lead you into stuff, but it really takes sitting down with people multiple times, having a lot of conversations to be actually, do you trust this person? Is this person trustworthy? Are they reliable? Because with salespeople, a lot of us, we can just fucking talk. We can talk all day, all day, all night, and wake up and do the same thing tomorrow.
100%.
And, you know, I don't know.
Well, that's where it goes hand in hand, though, is having the nice things of, you know, those watches that guy has may be fake. The cars that he has, you know, may not be the nicest of them.
Lease.
But we're sitting here talking about them. So, you know, and at the same time, if they are real, fantastic. This guy's, you know, got more money than, you know, we may believe. But we're talking about him. And that's what he wants. And that's why people do it. And that's just that's the society we're in.
If you're actually wealthy, do you want other people to know,
that's
though?
my point. Look at
I think to a certain point, I think if you are ultra wealthy, like an ultra wealthy individual, like 30 million or higher, you don't want a soul to know that.
Dude.
But if you're under 30 million, I think, you worked hard. I think, and I think it gets to a point where like, okay, I have so much money now. Doing the things that make me look rich aren't actually, I have done them. And I did them every single day for 24 hours a day. They're not cool to me anymore. But I think I'm
off social media.
$10 million.
I am off social media.
Dude, when I have $10, $20, $30 million, I'm buying every car I've ever wanted. I'm buying every watch. Like, absolutely. If we say we're not, we're lying to ourselves.
But you buy it once and then you're like, done. You know?
Or you just keep doing it. And, you know. The watches are cool if you like watches. You know what I mean? So if they are real, then props to him or, you know, whatever. But that's also the society we live in that, you know, having a watch like that, having a nice watch, having a nice car is how you consider
someone successful.
Successful or their status.
The most people
Which is probably not good.
It's not good, but that's how we are. That's why.
And
it's not a healthy way to look at people.
Not at all. Right. Wear nice watches, wear nice suits. Like it's why we do what we do. Maybe, you know, we don't have the craziest of cars, but we try to dress as good as we can. We try to, you know, always be, you know, professional with everything you do. And, you know, I think that also goes back to professionalism. Like, you know, you wear a nice watch, you wear a nice suit. Yeah, you may not be the richest person in the world, but people are going to probably, you know, work with you more than they're going to work with some guy in shorts and a t-shirt with
it's your reputation.
With the G-Shock on. You know.
There's this real estate guy on Instagram that always makes the videos of the first-time real estate agent versus him. And it's like the real estate agent gets out in a suit and then he gets out of his car looking like a slob, and I'm like, I don't understand the content. I understand the content, but also I don't. I'm like, so you're flexing that you look like shit because you do so much money in real estate. It doesn't matter how you look, and
Like
it's like
wearing a
I don't
t-shirt and
understand
stuff.
how that's a flex.
But that's the get to the point part where he's worn the suits, he's worn everything. That's like I'm been doing it for so long, I'm done with it.
Yeah.
right.
You know what I mean?
But still,
He's so
don't you-
rich, he can dress like that. We don't honestly, we don't have the luxury to walk into a room looking like shit and still get the same respect as a billionaire or somebody like that has, a net worth of 20, 30 million, that they can wear, Adidas head to toe, like a jumpsuit or whatever. And just because, they have a track record of success and
Yeah, and they're
everybody knows
known.
them.
I don't think
Yeah.
I'm ever going to be that guy,
See,
regardless.
I will. I like
Yeah.
I like t-shirts and comfy pants. And,
Yeah.
I mean,
I wear it at home. If I go out,
Yeah.
I don't wear sweatpants outside my house.
oh, I never was no, but
That's
I mean
against the
like
law.
comfy jeans and
Yeah.
like just a t-shirt, like it's like and sneakers. Like I'm not wearing dress shoes when, I don't know. I think it part of it's just like, do people care about that?
Yeah.
If they know you and you can get to know them and like also part of sales, if you know like
Yeah.
how to get people to trust you and reputation. If you have a good reputation, like people look past a lot of that stuff.
I think it goes
First impression,
At
though.
a certain level, though, if you're
First
brand
impression, though, is super important.
new,
Yeah.
which is why I'm wearing a suit right now.
And someone,
Yeah.
someone like you've had it all the time. I'm sure you're networking, you're at an event, or someone introduces you to someone, and they look good. You're like, okay, this guy probably or lady probably has their shit together.
yeah,
They probably, at least, are somewhat successful, have a good business. Versus you being introduced to someone in flip flop shorts and a t-shirt.
yeah,
You still have that notion, even
Yeah.
even if it's a bad notion to have.
yeah. I
Your
agree.
brain thinks that. I mean,
Yeah.
subconsciously.
I think it's a switch. I
Yeah.
think it's the day that you realize that success is a decision. You start wearing nicer clothes. You start talking
Yep.
a certain way.
dress for
We're too
success.
damn comfortable in this country.
Yeah,
100%.
Like, we are too comfortable.
Yeah. Well, because people don't
Everyone
realize
should be
what it
made
is.
to wear a suit every day.
well, and the
Every
prob-
single person. That
And,
way.
and even if it's not a
Not
suit,
really.
you know what I mean?
Not really, but-
we're like I saw this video and it was a guy that was wearing like what would be considered edgy
Mhm.
5 years ago versus
Yeah.
now. 5 years ago is just wearing, maybe some too tight pants,
Yeah.
a really unbuttoned shirt with like a leather jacket or something like that. That would be considered edgy. Now it's like wearing those pants that are like a 65 inseam and like, wearing like like the Balenciaga.
Yep.
It's like all
Yeah.
that. It's like we're not even humans anymore. you
Yeah,
know?
the
It looks
loose wear.
crazy. Yeah.
That's the Japanese style.
yeah.
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 It probably depends on like even industry, and I think a lot of people like.
Some people look good like that. Some of it's fresh, but it's like, I don't know. I don't.
It
It's
depends
not,
on like
it's not my
what
vibe.
industry or like who you're networking with. Like business people, you should dress business. It's called business casual or business wear for a reason.
Mhm.
Like I think a lot of those t-shirt, like what I esteem to be one day,
Mhm.
like be able to wear a t-shirt and jeans and not care what anybody thinks, or I don't care and I just I'll still have the right reputation. But it's like to take it to that level, dress appropriate, but also I think like people want to that whole t-shirt, that little like style
Mhm.
is coming
Yeah.
from an industry that like few are in, like the IT or
Yeah.
like I built an app industry. So like you
Mhm.
sat in a bedroom and you didn't care what you looked like
Yeah.
because you're promoting an app, not yourself. Like us as business and sales guys, like we're promoting ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, I
you
do
know.
this for me.
Yeah.
Not really for other people.
Yeah, but it's because you want to feel confident and go and
Yes.
crush a
Mhm.
sale or crush a podcast or
Yep.
crush
Yeah.
a deal, right?
Yep.
Where like the guy,
It's like a suit of armor.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. But that those IT people, app builders, so to say, and I'm not trying to like category anybody, but those are kinds of ones like this Mark Zuckerberg's.
Mhm.
He never wears a suit, man.
No, they don't care.
Well, that's the other thing.
And he
So
didn't wear a suit
everyone
before he was rich.
everyone looks at right. They're building an app.
Yeah.
They're a technology company.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's entirely different.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's
But
hiding
people
behind his
looking at Jeff
business.
Bezos and being like,
Yeah.
he's got the black T-shirt. So can I. It's like
Yeah,
you're
but
not,
It's a $500 black t-shirt.
and you're not
You know?
Jeff Bezos.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I really do think that life isn't a consistent or constant, ascent to perfection. And I think, right now we're able to wear, suits that may not be fully tailored, but we're getting there. And then
Mhm.
once we get there, we'll get to the next thing. And then maybe we'll be wearing all suits that are tailored. And then one day you get so rich, you're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna wear tailored T-shirts.
Now I got bespoke everything. Yeah.
Shout out Dakota.
Yep. Shout out Dakota.
Yeah.
Noble Luxury Brands. Yep.
Yep. Soon.
Bespoked.
But yeah, no. Yeah, he's making jeans and stuff too. So he's doing a lot.
Is that a
But
local company?
yeah.
Oh, really?
Dakota Grady.
Yeah.
Bespoked.
Yeah. Well, bespoke is a type. You're not really no one really needs bespoke unless you have a lot of money.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have a tailor and you have a cutter, I believe it is. A tailor can hem the pants, hem the
Yeah.
jacket, sleeves kind of tapered. And
Well,
all that,
he
but
takes
a cutter.
he does
actually
all
cuts
he
the
does
fabric.
he does full measurements
Yeah.
and then
But it's all like online, right? Like you like scan yourself. Is that-
no. You go in.
Oh, okay. That's
He
like
fits
that's like
you.
a shop
Yeah,
pair.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he fits you. He
Nice.
does all the measurements, sends it out.
Yeah. That's how people should be dressing. That's like how, like the 50s, 40s, and 30s.
I love
Dude,
it.
I am nostalgic to
Yeah.
that time period. I don't
Same.
know what it is when you see we've talked about this on the podcast.
That's why my
before.
double-breasted suits are coming back.
But the 1920s and shit, you look at New
Dude.
York, everyone just looks fresh.
Sick.
Yep.
Like, oh my God.
And
And you even look back at the 20s and 30s, like people even going on expeditions like on Everest and shit,
Yeah.
they had suits.
Yeah.
For real. They wore suits under their
Yeah.
snowsuits. It
Yeah.
was crazy.
Yeah.
Like when I walked into the office the other day, there was a nice lady walking out, and and I was wearing my double-breasted suit.
Mhm.
I looked.
I was looking good.
I was
looking
I was
good.
wearing an outfit that was definitely a couple generations older than what
Sure.
I was. And she goes, "Man, I haven't seen one of those in a while." Like I asked her, like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "Oh, that suit." She goes, "All the ones these days are just like so tiny." She was talking about like the length because this
Yeah.
one's like long, it's not draped and everything.
Yeah.
And it was just like it was an older double-breasted suit that I got tailored
Mm-hmm.
myself, and it's like people don't see that much anymore. Like
Yeah.
everywhere I walked, like I walked to Chipotle that day, every single person was like looking at it, like what is that shit?
Yeah.
And it makes
know?
you
Yeah.
stick out, Same
Yeah.
with like a watch, like,
Yeah.
When I wear my watch or one of them, normally it's like people are always like, it catches your eye,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
it's like that's kind of part of it. Like,
Yep.
we don't need it for time right now. We have our phones and
I don't even think mine's set.
Yeah, most people wear it for like to catch your eye. And
My
stuff.
time is always set. That's my
It's-
OCD, but I don't really.
It's not 7:52 right now. I'll tell you that.
It's definitely 12/16,
Yeah.
and that it is.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that my date is wrong. I have the 26th, and it's definitely the 25th right now.
It's definitely not the 24th.
No.
You guys have to get that fixed.
But the time is right. But yeah, I wish I could go back in time and just walk through the
Dude.
streets of those
Same.
days. Definitely not live back then, because let me tell you, we live a lot more comfortable.
Much
than back
better. Much better. But,
But
their
I was-
style was better. Like even in the movies like Top Gun,
Yeah.
where they're like set in the 70s or 80s or whenever that is. The way that they dress, the high-waisted pants, the polo, just like even go like throw the football around,
Then.
tough.
Dude,
Tough.
Yeah.
That movie's tough.
It is tough.
Yeah.
God, that
Man.
I've
There's
talked
not
to
a lot,
so
I don't
many.
think there's a lot of people like that, like us, that want that's like Napoleon Hill. I like a lot of his books, or his like few books.
Can I tell you something about Napoleon Hill?
He's
You're gonna tell me
tough.
he's a fraud or something?
He
aren't you?
is.
Oh my
Fraud.
gosh, I knew it.
He's one of the biggest.
Oh, don't
You
get,
should start a podcast called The Fraud and just
Yeah.
promote everybody that's a fraud.
No, I don't want to be a hater though, because then that gets annoying.
Yeah.
Then you're just that guy that talks shit, which I
Yeah.
do. I do talk a lot of shit.
So make a podcast about
But
it.
yeah, that's true. But
I mean, what is he a fraud
he's
about?
a-
He literally documented other successful people. He never claimed to be successful.
he never met him.
no, never. He
All
just
those
wrote-
Really?
all those stories were made up.
Yeah.
Well, they worked.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
It's still a good book. I still like the book.
Yeah.
But just know Napoleon Hill didn't actually talk to and meet.
How did he learn anything? It's not like today we can learn about Jeff Bezos because we can Google the crap out of him. Like, how did
The
he
same-
research these people?
the same way now that Instagram influencers say they can grow your business from 0 to 5 million because they've done it before. They've never done it before. They just say it.
They just make it
Yeah.
up.
Yep.
And also, you know somebody that we don't. You tell us about them. Now we know about
Yeah.
them, and we can add some
Yeah.
interesting sentences in there to make it make it seem like we do know them. But
I mean,
nope.
cheers to him because I mean, how many people that are living today were like, oh, Napoleon's Hill, Think and Grow Rich book was the one that made me think different and
I think that's
become
Garrett- I think that's
successful.
Garrett's favorite book.
Think and Grow Rich is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good one. Or the one that I really like is Laws of
Attraction. Laws
Laws of Success. Yeah, and I
I
mean
started
that has
reading more.
motivated. That has motivated.
I started
people.
reading more.
That's good.
I know.
Personal
Do you-
development.
Do you
reading.
visualize when you read?
I try to figure out what I'm reading, and I have to read a sentence like 30 times. Like,
Yeah, and
what am I reading right now,
Yeah, that's how I am.
dude?
I
No,
visualize.
and I
like,
don't visualize.
You
I'm
don't?
Like, no, I'm like, does that say there, or there? Right? No, I do sometimes. I try
Do
to
you?
like read a sentence or read a chapter and then look back and be like, okay, what did that actually mean?
Yeah.
Because reading words off a page is kind of useless. The best thing that I've ever been told about reading's not studying, reading's not any of that. Reading is entertainment in a book form, and you can benefit from it. Don't get me wrong, but reading 150 self-improvement books isn't going to do shit.
I think it will work. I think it's like working out your brain though. If you do 150 curls, eventually, like there's a saying, the best workout is one you're not doing. So doing 150 curls after 50, you're not doing anything, dude. You're just doing the same thing over and over
Well,
again.
at the end of the day, how many self-improvement books do you need to read?
No, right. You only need to read like
one
or two.
A couple?
Yeah.
Like at that point, you should start reading business books about processes or operations.
Yeah.
Learn finance. Learn how to.
I like process books. If it's going to be a motivational book,
systematized.
like
Give me something I can actually take.
Yeah.
I don't need a Tony Robbins hoorah bullshit.
You know The Art of War?
Yes.
Yeah.
Great book because it's a process. It tells you what to do. It's not like
Is that John Green, right?
Robert Greene.
Yeah, Robert Greene, dude.
It's not
He writes
philosophical.
some complex.
it's a
He's got
a system and a process.
He's got some thick books though, man.
He's 48 Laws of Power.
Oh yeah, yeah. You should have a PhD after reading that book.
48 Laws of Power.
But I think the thing about reading, even if you only need like one of each of those, because otherwise you just get confused. If you read like one process book and then another process book, they're saying the same thing, a little bit different. I think the thing about reading that's important is it's like a workout for your brain, and you can clearly tell people who don't know who don't read, and the people who do read when you're like networking and talking to people.
Sure.
And the ones that don't read, or you can tell they don't read because of like the way how they respond. Do they listen to understand or listen to reply?
Yep.
And reading just makes you like think, like it grows your brain muscles essentially, right? And it's like you can 100% tell people that don't read.
Do you think kids nowadays read? Do you know?
No.
Do
My
your kids
kid
read?
does. Well, she's like 2 and 8 months. So
Do you read to her?
yes, every night. Almost every night. I'd be lying if I said every night.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it's harder now with 2 kids, but like until my second one was born, we'd read to her at least 1 to 2 books every night.
Yeah.
And people I know might listen to this, but that's fine. But like we at our church, there's a ton of kids, and she is up there, and not by me. I think it's from like reading. My wife and I like talk all the time. Like it's like a constant thing. Like we're always talking to her before she could. But even my toddler right now, she's 9 months old. She can't talk back. Yeah, but she hears us talking.
Yep.
And they're around people. But like it's like constant talking. It just makes their vocabulary grow quicker. I think
I think it's very odd when someone that, even though they can't, it's like talking to a dog.
Yeah.
They can't talk back, but they understand some of it.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it's like cues. It's like they just get it.
I think the earlier you start, the better. I'm
like
going to
anything,
say this.
yeah.
I'm going to get some shit for it, but any of the the Tate brothers controversy aside, the one thing that they are is so well read. They know a lot about almost everything.
They do know a lot. Yeah.
They know a lot because of, their dad was a grandmaster chess champion or some shit like that.
They're smart.
They are very smart. That is not.
But they use their power for the bad.
For bad things. But
people love
if
Tate.
you could have a parenting style that was basically forming your kids to be more similar towards that, being well read, I think that's insane. I think we need to do that.
Well, being well read is also just being able to talk about stuff.
Right.
Have you ever sat down with someone and you start talking about things and they just they don't have anything to say?
Yeah.
They have nothing to talk about.
It's like, all right, I'm out.
And you're like,
I have a hard time not like talking.
Yeah. And you sit down with someone, and we might have had a few episodes on the podcast that were never released due to this, but it's like you're talking to a brick wall.
Yeah.
You can't there's no feedback. It's like I'm talking, you give me one thing back. You have nothing to say. It's like, this is terrible.
Yeah. They don't read.
Yeah.
That's my thesis.
Did you know that there's some people that don't even have thoughts in their brain? Like they don't think to themselves? Imagine that.
I mean,
imagine at night you're
Napoleon
not even...
Hill calls them drifters. You ever read his book, Outwitting the Devil?
I don't think so.
There's a huge story. You should bring that up a different podcast, not this one. But there's some stuff about that. Like he didn't release it for like 70. Well, he died, and then like his like niece or something released it like 70 some years after he died, and he basically predicted everything. Like the transcripts, the original transcripts were released like in like the late 80s or 90s, I think, if I remember. And it's called Outwitting the Devil. And one thing he says in there, it's like just open my eyes. It's like he calls people drifters. Like you're either living and you're a thinker, which is most businessy people.
Yep.
Or people that just want more out of life than just a basic following the rat race, you know.
So it's really just like being high, more or less. That's what.
Yeah. Well, there's a whole nother level of drifting now than probably what he experienced, you know. But he wrote this in the 40s or 50s.
38.
After World War II, or right during World War II.
Yeah, during it, yep.
Yeah,
just kind of like bots, if you were, like NPCs.
It was considered too controversial to be published in its era.
Yeah. Think about it. And he predicted he predicted like the school systems, all the stuff, but he talks about like people being drifters, and it's like, that's just
like an NPC.
So Napoleon Hill, though, you got to give it out. Dude's smart as hell.
Yeah. Even if he is a fraud, like
yes, correct.
He was a good fraud.
Correct.
Like he wasn't stupid.
I think it's just obviously looking back, he never thought that there was going to be an internet or anything like that that we're going to be fact checking him. So it's not like he ever knew.
But how do we know that that's not a fraud? You know.
There's been stuff that's been that's come out. It's like he didn't meet with all these guys. Why the fuck is Robert Carnegie going to meet with Napoleon Hill?
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
that's
like me.
He didn't have anything. It's like you reaching out to Jeff Bezos right now and be like, "Yo, can I write a? Can you mind if I have a chapter about you?
Yeah,
I'll fly out to you. Maybe he would, but
some of those guys probably had to, like Ford, because he talks a lot. He talks more about Ford than anybody. He had to at least know Ford or talk with him. Because he's from Chicago and Ford was in Detroit. That's pretty close. But all these other guys were like way on the East Coast, you know?
Absolutely.
I don't know. But I mean, if he's that just means he's a good sales guy. I mean, people BS all the time, you know?
Yeah. Being well-read's important. So speaking of being well-read, do you, like when you were doing all your mortgage insurance stuff, did you have to read a bunch of stuff? Or, you know how when you go to law school, you got to just read tons of books, tons of dialogue, stuff like that? Did you have to?
No, it's a pretty quick class. Like it takes like couple days to do, and then you're done forever. Yeah.
What got you into that?
Into insurance?
Yeah, just like, I mean,
that's
starting set life and everything like that.
Yeah. So I've been doing it since I was 19, or 2017. I think I was 19 or 20, 27 now. So and so basically I got into it. So I was living in Chicago and was working for a dealership, and then I also had like my own car towing business on the side, so I would transport like race car bodies all across America. I've been to like every state almost.
Sick.
And I did that between 17 and 19. So for 2 years, I was working 100 hours a week from Saturday night till Monday morning. I was on the road transporting race car bodies.
How'd you get involved in that?
So before in high school, I worked at this dealership called Nielsen Enterprises.
Okay.
They're a big they're in North Chicago. They're a recreational dealership, so like ATVs, jet boats, jet skis, things like that.
Yep.
He was like my second mentor.
Jet boats are sick.
So cool.
Yeah.
Dude, having one of those would be awesome.
Yeah. So they taught me a lot. So I was working for the owner of the company. Like basically, I was like, you know, just doing whatever he said all day, and I was like a porter and all this stuff. And I grew up.
Yep.
So I became the transportation guy for that. So I would deliver like jet boats to all these people. I've been to like I could drop names of houses I've been to in Chicago, like the owner of the Cubs, the owner of River Casinos, Groupon. I've met him before. Tons of people. Huge.
Shout out Groupon.
Yeah, and he wasn't even the biggest guy I've met. So I would drop all these jet boats off at their lakefront houses, multi-million-dollar houses. Anyway,
yep.
So I got really good at being like a transporter, and people trusted me to transport their expensive stuff. So then the body shop guy at that dealership was like, "Hey, he would race like funny cars on the weekend. It's like a car that you're supposed to crash, basically.
Yep.
So he would race those on the weekend. So I started getting into that, just hanging out with him, and he was like, "Hey, I got this body in Pennsylvania that I want to. It's a mold." He's like, "Can you go pick it up?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. $700." He's like, "Done." So I drove out there, and when I met that guy, he's like, "Well, Craig's not my only client. I make these molds for like people all over the country, and it's impossible to transport these things. Semis won't do it. They're fiberglass. Like 2 guys can pick this whole car body up."
Yeah.
And I said, "All right, well, I'll pick them up. I'll take them," and just kind of evolved to that. I did it for 2 years. So I would drive out there one weekend and pick up 1 to 2 car bodies, and then drive them back, keep them in my garage, work all week at the dealership, load up, and then drive and deliver them to all the customers like throughout the whole Midwest.
So what'd you deliver them on? Did you just have a trailer?
Yeah, I had a big I had 2 trucks. I had a big Chevy truck, diesel truck or whatever, and then I had like a big enclosed 24-foot car hauler. So I could put like the car bodies are like they're like a table.
Yeah.
Like they're as light as a table.
Really?
So you could like stack 2 of them like this.
Interesting.
So I'd go like I've been all over. I take them to Arizona, Florida, Nebraska, middle of nowhere, Minnesota, like all over.
What's your favorite state?
Oh man, I don't know.
Don't say St. Louis. You
No,
can if it's your favorite.
To be honest, I don't like Missouri as much. Like I can't leave now. Like we have a huge family here.
Yep,
Like everything,
yep.
I'll never leave. But like it's not what I grew up in. So like I don't know. I like Wisconsin, like the nature side of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I like Chicago hustle.
Yep.
That's like in my blood. So St. Louis is kind of in between it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not really. I
There's
don't know if I have a favorite state.
Where is the hustle in St. Louis?
Yeah.
For real?
That's how Columbia. Dude, I moved.
Is that
Clayton,
it?
probably, but that's a different class probably. When I lived in
Is that it,
Columbia,
though? That's really it.
yeah. When I lived in Columbia, Missouri, it was like everybody was a startup, and it was like
Shout out Mizzou.
So
I went to Mizzou.
yeah, me too. But it was so low, like it was so I don't know, it was just a different environment. It was more entrepreneurs than entrepreneurs.
Absolutely. It's
Like-
all college students.
Yeah, and it was like
Or
I got an
ex-college
idea,
students,
you
yes.
know, to mold, like to do this and do that. It's like I don't know. It just,
Everyone has a
I was
fucking
not
idea.
getting the
No one
vibe
has
there.
the balls to execute.
Yeah, I was not getting the vibe to do it.
Shout
Yep.
out us.
Yeah,
That's right.
and they were like hard clients. It was a weird place to get clients too, because like 90% of the population worked for the university.
Yeah.
There weren't that many small. If they were small businesses, they were like small businesses, like a
Mhm.
painter. Like the husband was painting, and the wife
she
was like
was-
a nurse
yep.
or something, or a university teacher.
Mhm.
So it was just a weird dynamic, and I was like, I'm out of here. And then I didn't know where I was gonna move, but I met my wife like the month I was like, I'm gonna peace out. And then I met her. I'm like, okay, I'll stick around. And then I moved to St. Louis.
Who do you work for? Or did you do insurance in Columbia at all? Or
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So after all that transportation stuff, so I sold that all my trucks. I had 2 trucks and 3 trailers. So I sold all that in like 19 or early 19,
Mhm.
and I was in college at the time too. So I was taking like night classes, just a few throughout the week.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna get rid of all that. I'm gonna go into business. Prior to that, I had a dream to go in the military, and I busted my rib. I got kicked out basically, so I couldn't go in the military. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to college.
So all you have to do is bust a rib and
I did. Yeah,
you're out of there.
I fell 40 feet from a zip line, and like it still popped out.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So
how'd you fall from a zip line? You're supposed to be
It-
strapped in.
no, it broke, like the wire snapped.
From the military? Like while you were in it? Or
No,
like
it was
on a trip.
yeah, it was on a trip. Yeah,
Damn. But
Yeah.
so you could have got a bag for that.
yeah. My recruiter was not happy.
Where were you at?
Yeah, he's like, you should
I
have
was
fallen.
I was back at home.
This was in Columbia or in
No,
Chicago?
this was in North Chicago. Yeah.
Did you sue the company?
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our sponsor, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee. Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance is recruiting agency owners here in St. Louis.
That's right, Garrett, and everyone knows what Farmers Insurance is, and if they don't, they will now.
Yes, it's kind of a household name. That said, as many of you know, a large part of our audience is made up of badass business owners, entrepreneurs, and top producing sales professionals with an open mind like yourself. Farmers Insurance is currently searching for driven individuals who aspire to own their own business or already own their own business and want to add another income stream to join the Farmers Insurance brand and own their own insurance agency.
This is a stellar opportunity to build your own insurance agency from scratch, take over an existing agency, or if you're just a slow roller, we know you the guys out there and ladies, get paid to train under an existing successful agency owner before starting your own.
Holy shit, Eric. That means that whether you have experience as a business owner or you've never heard the word business before in your life, there's a pathway to owning your own business through Farmers Insurance Agency led by Mark Lee.
That's right. You can become a Farmers Insurance business owner even if you've been homeless in the past, just like you.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've ever dreamt of being your own boss, building a team under a reputable brand, and making a difference in your community by offering top-tier auto, home, and commercial insurance to consumers and businesses in your area, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the godlike man himself, Mark Lee, has the perfect opportunity for you.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com to speak with Mark Lee, the district manager of Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, to become a Farmers Insurance agency owner today.
Did you hear that, St. Louis? Go visit insurancecareerstl.com. Insurancecareerstl.com. That is INSURANCE, career, CAREERSTL.com.
To become a business owner today, again, one more time, visit insurancecareerstl.com. STL, as in St. Louis.com today, right now, this second, or reach out to us at stlouispodcast.com and we'll introduce you to Mark Lee ourselves. And I promise he won't spell out insurance and career to you.
Now back to the show.
No, I mean it was like a little private. The guy was storing my trucks actually, so I still own my truck. So he was storing my trucks at this farm, and there was like a hayride thing, and I would zip line over. I was like 18. I was 18.
Sure.
So I'd be zip lining over. I was like 7 months in the military, and busting my rib out. My recruiter was like, "All right, go back to." So we had to go back to MEPS, and I got kicked out basically. Not kicked out. I got honorably discharged.
Sure.
I say kicked out because like people think you're a veteran. I'm like, no, I'm not. Like I'll never claim that.
Yeah.
So
what makes a veteran? What if you're in for a couple months?
I mean, I think
What if you're in for one day?
Did you go through basics?
Yeah. So, and I did get to keep my ID for like 2 years. It expired like right when I moved to St. Louis. So like,
can you get VA assistance though or anything like that?
No. And I don't know if I like waived it or something weird. I don't know. People always tell me like, no, you should have. And I'm like, nah, I've never got nothing.
Okay.
And
yeah.
I don't even want to be now knowing what I know. It wasn't
Exactly.
the military was my escape out of the little town I grew up in.
Yep.
And I didn't know about like business and that I could just move. Like it was like, okay, you go in the military or you work in that town. You know?
Mm-hmm.
I grew up in a small town north of Chicago, so it was small at the time. And so anyway, so I got kicked out of that. Long story short, did transportation, got back into that for like another year. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to move to either Ohio or Mizzou because those are the two offers I had for going to college. And they were like super flexible. I could pick my own curriculum. And so then I knew people that were going to Mizzou, randomly chose that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's divine. God meant for me to come down here, clearly.
Yep.
Ohio, I don't know who I would have met out there. But so then at the time, one of the guys I would drop a boat off for, his name is Steve Shapiro, solid guy.
Shout out Steve.
Yeah, he wrote me like a big email and said like, you know, you should get into insurance. And I told him, hey, I'm thinking about getting into health insurance. I'm going to go sell it door to door.
Mhm.
I think I'll be really good. He said, listen, and he wrote me basically not a long email. He wrote me a simple email that said, stick with it. He was a chairman of the largest semi insurance company in Indiana. So he was a chairman.
Okay.
Okay, so this dude, whatever he said, it was right.
What year was this?
It was 18, 19. I moved down here in 19.
So was it the Wild West still in trucking or not really then?
I don't know anything about trucking.
Okay.
He just was the chairman of it, and he was filthy rich.
Got it.
And he owned a big investment company. So I would take his jet skis to him every summer.
Okay.
And he would like tip me. And I started doing this when I was like 16. So I like grew like for like 3-4 years. Like I see him every like 2-3 times a year. He always tipped me really well. He always like, you know, showed me like, oh, you're not a cocky rich dude. You're a nice, respectful rich dude.
Mm-hmm.
And so basically I knew he was in insurance. So I was like, well, I'm going to do what that guy does. So I started looking for jobs in insurance. I should have asked him for a job, but, and then I met this guy, who I still work with, Joe and Eric, and they own a huge health insurance company. And it was based in Chicago. So they're like, okay. So they trained me for like 3 weeks. And then by then it was like August 7th. And I packed up my truck and trailer and I moved to Columbia and started knocking doors.
Oh.
So I had nobody plans to get an insurance, you know.
Door knocking's fun.
Yeah, but it builds a backbone, and I think that's why I've been doing it a lot longer than most. Like most people, the turnover rate in like any sales position, but especially insurance, is is super high because it's such an easy barrier to entry. It's like a couple $100 to get your license, and they promise the world to you, and they show you Rolexes and Ferraris and all that crap. And
I was a insurance agent for a little bit.
Yeah, and
So
no
was
offense,
I.
but right, you guys are pieced out, right?
Property and casualty, baby.
Yeah, I think
That industry sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
Sorry for anyone that does that,
Yeah.
because the only thing that matters is price.
Yep. Yeah,
Literally,
that's why health.
your friends and family will not buy from you if you are not cheaper.
Yeah, 100%.
And no offense, neither would I.
Yeah.
And so it's like,
yeah.
if you're not competitive, you're done in that industry.
Or like just a boss networking marketing guy, which I'm not really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how these State Farm reps do so well. No offense, State Farm.
Dude, and they
State
got
Farm,
overhead.
but
Like
if you have State Farm, you're probably paying more than you should.
Yeah, and those big franchises, and I just
They
know this a
cover like
little bit.
50% of Missouri or something like that.
Yeah, but those big franchises, you have to have like a whole overhang. Like I started out in my what do you call it? Like a studio apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Like I have a picture on my phone of like I had a desk smaller than this, and that's where I started selling insurance.
But how
on my
much
phone.
was the studio apartment?
$700 a month
Because the ones going up in the Foundry,
over here? Yeah, but those are nice. I lived in Columbia studio apartment, college housing.
They're like 300 square feet for like, they start at like 1,500
That's
for one
stupid.
person. I'm like, who?
Yeah.
The bigger one
Yeah.
bedroom is like $2,000.
This was also 7 years ago. It was like $700 a month for right down the street from the zoo, and it was college housing, so I had like a pool, a gym, everything was covered. $700 a month, done.
Oh, I know the place you're talking about.
yeah. There's all those little like I live in.
You
all
had the
three of
pool on the
them.
rooftop, right next to
no, that's
Campus
no,
Bar.
No. That place was Swoozers. No, I ain't living there.
Mm.
It was up 63. It was like right across the street from the campus.
Okay.
Yeah, but it was like cheap,
Mm.
and I had my own car. I didn't have to live on campus. I was 2 years into college when I moved there,
Yeah.
so I was just going there for the classes and the.
So you
cost.
never lived in a dorm?
No,
I
No.
will say one thing,
I never did either.
dude.
but you miss out on networking doing that.
living in a dorm was. People had bad experiences, but I thought living in a dorm was great.
Yeah,
It's you like live next to a shitload of people.
yeah. We had
Like
networking.
you meet all of your neighbors, you become friends with them.
Yeah,
Like you see them every day for 9 months.
yeah,
You got your doors open.
yeah. But you were
Because
you
we
went there
were-
as a freshman.
Yeah.
I went there as a freshman, sophomore, junior, as a junior essentially.
Nah, junior, you can't be in there.
That's what I mean. So like,
That's weird.
it would have
That's like
been
a super senior.
yeah, it would have been weird. So like, I was also like, I didn't go there for. I probably should have networked a lot more or whatnot. But like, I went there to get my classes and like do my business. Like I was full focus on doing my business.
I wish I would have done Mizzou better.
yeah.
I had a great time. Don't get me wrong.
Were you there all 4 years?
Yep.
Oh, so you have like an extra degree.
Yep. Partied it up.
In what?
Health science.
Health science?
I got a bachelor of health science.
Is that like
So I was originally
Workout
going to
stuff?
school to be a physical therapist because my
Yeah.
whole mom and 2 aunts are physical, occupational, and
yeah?
speech therapy.
Mm-hmm.
So there's decent money in physical therapy.
Yeah.
And I was going to school for that because I didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
By the time I knew I wanted to be in business junior year of college, you go to talk to the business advisor and they're like, you don't have any of these core classes done.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to, spend an extra year and a half for more than you would.
Yeah.
And by that time,
No.
I was finally starting to understand that I was getting bamboozled
Yeah.
at Mizzou.
That's a nice way of saying it.
My degree is entirely useless.
Yeah.
Bachelor of Health Science is not going to get me anywhere.
Yeah.
Nope.
All it really shows is that I went to school for 4 years and I can be smart enough to pass some classes and get a degree.
Mm-hmm.
But I was born, thank God, with somehow a good ability to take tests, understand shit quickly, and kill it on tests.
That's good.
So I didn't have to go to class very much.
yeah,
which
you're
I
one of
didn't.
them. You're one of them.
I was. So my buddy had a Battlefield. What was the Battlefield out then? Probably Battlefield 4.
Oh, like the video game.
Yeah. And I sat at home for junior year for like 3 months, and I got his character like level 200 on PlayStation 3.
When you could have been hanging out and meeting people and
Yeah.
yeah.
And doing anything else.
That's like we were talking about before, wasting time. That probably was a waste of time.
Massive.
Yeah.
But I didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
You're stupid at 19.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I went to school, and I think now looking back at it, if I would have been working in like somewhat legitimate job, because I was at Panera. I mean, it's not.
Yeah.
Food is food.
Yeah.
It's not.
St. Louis Bread Co. You mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
I didn't know it was called that until I moved down here. Like in Chicago, it's called Panera Bread. Like
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, I think one thing like
I don't know where I don't know
well,
where I was going.
like if you were in like a different
Yup.
setting, you might have learned quicker or something.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Sorry. So
That's where I think I got lucky.
But so I learned a lot from my dad. He owned a business, but I guess when it comes down to it, I was always told to go to college. Like,
Yeah.
were you always told to go to college?
All of our parents told us.
I think my
that.
parents knew I was never going to do it, so they told me you can go to college, but it's not going to go well. And they were
knew.
right.
They knew.
So why weren't you good at school?
Why
Did you not try?
wasn't anybody not good at school? They just didn't want to be.
Usually they don't try. Huh?
No, yeah, I didn't try. Wanted to do other things. I didn't need to know geometry to make $1 million.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's still crazy that you go to school, you still have to take biology. It's like, why can't I go to school
Or I
and
won't.
take the classes I need to get the degree?
Yeah. Well, here's the thing: is that there's people that graduated, and I'm only 22, and I'm not gonna, absolutely shit on people I went to high school with. But there's people that I went to high school with that they graduated. They graduated college with a finance or business degree, and they're working at Home Depot.
Yeah, oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
I know multiple people. Home Depot. I'll see them at, Dick's Sports or
What?
or say they get a good job. It's a
Mhm.
$50,000 salary. So you just and starting out
They're
whatever
drifters, man.
40 50 grand, and then they go ahead and in 10 years they have the opportunity to make 100 grand. In
Right.
10 years they can do that.
Mm.
They're like, well, that sounds amazing. Then I can go, buy a house. And the kid's like, you're gonna wait 10 years to be able
Yeah.
to do that? No, I'm all right. And that's where my dad was like. I mean, we joke all the time that I saved him so much money going to college because he's like he would have just wasted it.
Yeah.
Yep.
100%.
I mean, my money, the return on investment I got was 100% not there. I'm still paying for it.
Mm.
Yeah,
Even like network people,
dude. If we're
I hung
if
out
we're
with a
being-
lot of the people I went to
yeah.
high school. I hung
Yeah.
out with a lot of St. Louis people. Like I met other people, but
Being honest, you're not gonna meet
the
as
problem
many
with
people.
Mizzou and being from St. Louis is there's a ton of people there from St.
yeah,
Louis.
or Chicago or Texas.
I
That's
think it
all
would have
makes
been.
up.
I think it would have been way more valuable to go to. You have
leave.
one friend. You pick a college that's completely. You don't know anyone there.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
And go somewhere
SMU.
else. Have an experience like Mizzou. It's still Missouri.
Yeah.
It's not a change of pace. It's the
Yeah.
same fucking scenery.
Yeah.
I wish I would have gone somewhere else, but also at the same time, hey, looking back, I had a great time too. So I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm
it's
not
a great
unhappy.
time, but it's not beneficial if you
Yeah.
want to consider.
Yeah. Like you
Like,
could have gone somewhere to
It's
meet
4
new
years of
people.
having
Yeah.
a great time.
Yeah, you
I
also
didn't do
really don't
college
go to
right.
college for a network.
I didn't do college right, but I
Yeah.
also can say I probably didn't do it that wrong either, because there's people that do it way worse than me.
For
Yeah.
sure. For sure.
Yeah.
You walk out of, you graduate with 6 DUIs and a couple of arrest records. You did,
and
you
no
did all
job,
right.
like you're saying, they go work at
Yeah.
Target. or
I don't
something.
know how we all got away with. It doesn't matter.
Sort
Well,
of.
Mizzou's a dry school, so
Yeah,
they were focused on the chancellor at our age, probably. So
that's right.
you
I don't
know,
think I ever
they were
could've gone to
focused on
Mizzou.
him. So
So the year I graduated or the year after I graduated was the year where they were having all this shit happen on Mizzou campus. And it was that journalism teacher, that
Mhm.
famous white lady who's like yelling, like
Yeah.
her angry ass face. You would know if I pulled it up. I was
what year was that? 16.
so 16.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I moved there 17.
So 16
But I
was,
was at the entail of all that when all the racist stuff that they were doing.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, oh, why'd I move here?
Yep. So they
Oh, actually, I remember that. My
And-
cousin went there.
And then it ended up, I believe, maybe I'm wrong. Don't hate me. I believe it ended up being that the main guy that was like camping out there and like doing all of this was backed by some sort of George Soros
of
is
yeah,
money.
yeah,
Interesting.
strange.
That's why you don't go to Mizzou. If you're going to go somewhere, go to KU. Just kidding.
Ugh.
KAU.
Lawrence, Kansas.
It was I'll tell you this.
That's where you
So
went.
so
it's,
many-
It's significantly better than Mizzou.
So
I've been
many-
to both. I went to KU, but I've been to
Ew.
Mizzou 100 times.
I don't care what's better.
Lawrence,
It's
Kansas,
Kansas.
is 100 times better.
But you're in Kansas.
Yeah, Lawrence,
And you're in
Kansas.
Missouri. In Columbia, Missouri, like it's like
That's
the meth capital of Missouri.
That's
you're,
Sedalia.
No, that's Jefferson County.
yeah, Jefferson County. Hey now.
It's pretty close.
But the nice thing about Columbia is you're like an hour from St. Louis.
You went to Eureka, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
How many people from your high school went to Mizzou? All of them.
Probably like 10%. Maybe not 10%.
Yeah.
But
Say at
a
least-
good amount.
Yeah, a lot.
10%.
Too many.
Yeah.
Like almost my whole friend group from high school went to Mizzou.
yeah.
And that's why we had a good
I
ass
knew
time.
only a couple people at KU.
People you knew.
We always rented a house. We always had a house. We had a house sophomore, junior, and senior year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, men's college houses,
Dirty. Dirty.
Nasty.
we need a made for you just for college students.
It makes me.
Yeah.
Literally, like these colleges need to just be like, hey, just so you know, there's a subscription offering that we have to come in and clean your kid's
Yeah.
house, because it's always the parents that come in and like, this is
Fucking
this
gross.
is disgusting.
Like you have
Yeah.
those like bean. Like when I went there, I will say KU felt cleaner than Mizzou. Mizzou
Oh,
was
yeah.
nasty.
oh yeah,
Like I went there
all
for
all the frats and shit.
yeah.
it's like,
I went there for like
dude.
homecoming, dude, and there was just like the
Oh.
most grease ball bean
Oh,
bags and
yeah.
couches. Like I can't
Oh,
believe you'd even sit on that.
Oh
Like,
yeah,
You're gonna get
that's why I didn't. I always wonder. This is turning like a college episode. What
Yeah.
are frats worth it?
I
I
think so.
wasn't in one. I don't think so.
I didn't join
in
one
one.
because my parents specifically said they're not going to pay for it, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Man, fair enough."
when I was there, I was in one, and it was way. If I was not in, the only reason I went to college was because I was going to be in one. I never got initiated or anything like that, but that was the only reason I went, and it's the only reason that I even stayed probably as long as I did. Because
The
it was,
thing about
it was
frats,
fun.
though, it's usually not first generation wealth.
Yeah.
There's no offense
If
to
you-
Adam here.
if you-
I love first gen wealth.
If you want to
Yeah.
if you want to meet people and network, fraternities is where you're going to do that.
Yeah.
100%.
I didn't know this though.
Yeah.
I didn't give a
Yeah.
shit either. My whole my whole belief was I don't need to pay for friends.
Yeah.
I said that,
When I look back on it now, yes, but I didn't like the people you're actually
but
like,
you're not really
pledging
paying
with.
for friends. You're
Yeah.
You're paying for access, and then you become
Yeah.
friends with the people
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're paying for that, and you're paying for all the things you do. Also, the food's way better. Everything, the housing. We lived in house first year, so it was fun. But you're paying for the alumni, not the people you're actually
Correct.
you're actually pledging.
But
with.
that was like back then, like Rolodex. Now do you need that? Like if you want to hit somebody up, just
You almost need it more.
maybe.
if you're going to go to
because it's-
college, you better be in a fraternity or sorority. And if you don't, then
Don't
not
go to
gonna-
college.
You don't need it.
Yeah.
You don't need it at all.
I wasn't in one, so I have no I don't know anything about them. But I think that's where I got
I've met
lucky.
some of
We
the
need to-
smartest and dumbest people. I've actually met probably the dumbest
We need to
person
get
I've
we need to
ever
get two
met.
frat guys on here.
Yeah. I've met the
They're
dumbest person I've
promoted
ever
like
met
nobody's business.
being in a fraternity.
Yeah. No, I want to get. I could say all the negative, but I'm like, I was never in one, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All I know is my belief was I don't want to pay for friends. I don't want to be
Yeah.
harassed, or I don't want to.
hazed.
I don't want to be hazed.
That
I
doesn't
don't want to
happen.
go through Hell Week.
That
Yeah,
doesn't
it
happen.
does.
Hell Week is real.
That doesn't happen. No.
Maybe
Yeah.
not in Lawrence.
Hell Week doesn't happen.
You can't claim that.
Hell Week is real. They were all sleep deprived
Oh,
for an entire week. I'm like, how is this good?
yeah.
I'm like, I don't like anyone enough to be hazed.
I don't
like
the goal
any
to
group.
that though. Like I don't.
The nice thing is when you're in a frat, you're around usually at least similar people. They hold you accountable.
They do.
They hold you accountable for like your tests and stuff like that for your grades. They have
Unless they're making
studies.
you get drunk
They
every
have
night.
they have all of the old tests.
Mm-hmm.
So they have access to like all of the old tests.
Yeah,
Which
good.
if you're in college right now and you're not looking, actually I shouldn't even tell these people. If you're stupid enough not to know this.
Yeah, you're
just-
gonna cheat. You're gonna give the cheat code away. Have them Venmo you to get it.
Well, dude, even when I was in college, there was a lot of websites where you can find past tests on.
Oh yeah.
I can't imagine now.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
You're gonna
When I
get your
did- when
degree
I did
taken
my,
away. They're
uh,
gonna come back and revoke it from you.
When I did my insurance license, now that I
It's
know
not
I'm
my
never going
fault.
to do that
It's
again,
not my fault. Professors don't change their tests after 10 years.
Yeah.
Well,
I cheated on that entire life insurance test.
how'd you cheat?
Yeah, that's hard.
You like
Also,
have-
why'd you have to cheat?
Because I didn't want to study for it.
So you just had the answers.
No,
yeah.
no, no. So like
yeah.
it was a proctored test. So the guy can see you. So I'm right here with my phone, like scanning because
I had to put my phone in my locker.
I was at
Yeah,
my
you did
house.
it in person.
Yes.
He did it after COVID.
I got COVID rules.
yeah.
I did
Yeah.
it in 2020. They made me go down to Jefferson County.
Yeah,
And take it
Did
at,
you live in
uh,
Jefferson County?
No, but that was one of the proctoring
Yeah,
facilities.
at the Jefferson
Yeah.
County College down there.
Yes.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah.
You can just scan the answers with your phone and it would tell you what it was. I can't remember what it was called.
Yeah,
but
Correct.
It was
Yeah.
I
awesome.
wasn't able to cheat, but I killed the PNC and the life insurance. I did
That's
it.
why life insurance. Most life
I
insurance.
didn't even have to finish the
AIL.
test.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, it should be common sense.
I know people that failed it.
I know. Me too.
Tons of
I've hired
times.
people that have
I,
failed it.
I don't
multiple
know.
times.
I don't know any of the
You're
terms.
fired.
What do you think? It's like how
I don't know a single
don't know.
term. I don't know university whole. I know the names because I had to sell them, but I don't know what they do. I don't know what they are. If you ask me like, what's a universal whole life plan?
you mean universal index?
Sure, whatever it is.
Index
I
Universal Life. It's IUL, not UL.
IUL. There we go.
See, I really don't know.
It's
I
just
sold it.
It's just pegged to the stock market.
Yeah.
It's that's
Whatever it
really
is, it
fucking
was easy
Yeah.
to sell.
It's just
Yeah.
really pegged to the stock market.
Hey, you need this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep.
Yeah, but I
For-
mean, you said you're gifted at taking tests. So some of us aren't like that. So it's like you just
I
have to
would
work.
hate. I love being me. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
There you go.
I can't take a test to save my life. I think I could study for a week straight and I'd still fail.
So in college, I would cram 24 hours, maybe 48 hours, depending on what it was. But I, like everyone, would be like, "I'm studying for the test next week," and I'm like, "It's next fucking week. What are you
You're one
talking
of,
about?
You're one of those. You're the.
What are you talking about?"
Yeah, you're one of those.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've been studying for 3
Yeah.
years.
Okay. So yes. So
You're like-
I was the kid in high school or college that everyone was like, "I don't understand." I'm like, "You don't study that much." It's like I don't know, man.
Yeah, it just comes to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I don't remember a lot either.
So well, that
is true.
So you just wing
is
it and
true.
get lucky.
Well, I feel like that's the worst thing about school is you go
You have,
through.
you have dementia at not even 30 years old.
Oh, full
Yeah.
blown dementia.
I could tell you something and you're forgetting it within 5 minutes.
I mean,
Well, that's ADD. That's ADD.
yeah,
for you.
Slash
OCD.
dementia.
That's how I am. I'm so focused. OCD. Everything's gotta be perfect. It's bad. I think that's where I got lucky though. Is like just going back to like not going to fret. Is like in all the insurance experiences, getting into health and with the mentors I did. Like, not saying I would have failed if I didn't have that, just because, I think I would have worked hard enough. But like, it wasn't motivating enough to succeed unless you had like something that like kind of gave you a boost up. You know, and the health, like the PNC world. I don't know how people survive in that, unless you own like a big franchise but a bunch of rules.
You have to.
I don't like rules. Not
if you're a
those kind of rules.
if you're a single owner, you better have a big network of family
Yeah.
and friends
Yeah,
because it's
it's all on price.
you have to be a broker.
Yeah,
If you're in insurance, like property and like car, home, and you're not using a broker,
yeah,
you're probably paying way more than you should.
For sure.
yeah, yeah. If you're just with State Farm, it's like, dude.
Well, we were talking last week, right, about how home ownership. So I learned this morning that if you usually have more than one claim on your home in 3-year period, that you are going to be paying $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 plus a year to insure your home. And we were
right.
having the conversation about how home ownership doesn't make sense for a lot of people our age right now, considering the cost, considering the maintenance, considering the property taxes, considering everything else. It's like, I don't know. Seems
Yeah.
like a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
But all the real estate people will tell you it's the way to financial freedom.
yeah. Well, and even often, even people that just owned one home, it's like it always goes up in value, and it does, and I do believe
It
that
does.
It does, right? Like the math is math. You can't
100%
fake it.
it does.
But it just I
Our
don't know.
grandparents bought a house for $4,000. It's worth $400 now.
Yeah, but
1,000.
yeah, but I mean, it's like, do
Maybe
they
not
actually
$4,000,
get that? Because like, how many times did they refinance? How much expenses did you go into it? Like,
Correct.
I think you're more I think that we should use the word sheltering money instead of it's like growing. Like, unless you actually buy it at a low value, make it worth more, and then let it grow. Like, the saying is like, don't wait to buy and wait. You know,
Mhm.
like the math works. It always goes up in value, but it's also, what do you value? Like,
Yep.
do you want to be working on your projects at your house all day long, or do you want to hang out with your kids? Do you want to have one more hour to build your business instead of cutting your grass or whatever?
I will say, the only thing I hate about renting is I cook all the time, so I'm a stickler for like trying to find a place that would have a nice kitchen,
Yeah.
and it's tough when you're renting
Yeah. Especially like
in
a
an
condo
apartment or in a condo. They're
Yeah.
usually like the shitty,
Yeah.
they're not great.
Yeah.
Not at
100%.
all.
But,
Yeah.
but if I had my own house, I know my kitchen would be
Top notch. Same.
decked out.
For sure.
Decked out. Nice oven, nice stovetop. I got the hood. I ain't smoking out my apartment room anymore. I'm done with that shit.
Same.
I get so mad because I cook steak all the time, and that, it's a little smoky inside.
it
Yeah.
does. I always
And-
set off the alarm.
And those shitty microwave
Mm.
fans don't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
They just blow it into the cabinets
Blows
above.
into the cabinet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
So
so
you have
stupid.
an oily cabinet then.
Yes.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Terrible design.
That's why those ones you're talking about on the Foundry are probably 15, because they have like the stainless steel appliances and like the granite
Still probably a
countertop.
mana bullshit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's
still
probably better
not
than
that
like
nice.
the old school ones.
Well, right now, I actually just put a maintenance request in
Speaking of sea,
because
but now you don't gotta fix it yourself.
I
You-
don't.
Yeah.
I don't because I'm sick. I have 2 burners on my stovetop that they don't 100% get lit for some reason.
Mm.
And I bitched with them like last year about, they were like, well, and I put it in again. I was like, new stove
Yeah.
or new filaments, or come out here and figure it the hell out. This is not my problem. But when I could only use 2 of my 4 stovetops, I get pissed.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you cooking? You need 4 stovetops.
Dude, sometimes I got some
Yeah.
stuff going.
Yeah. That's how I am. I'm a big cook. I like it.
Well, if you're cooking, like, let's just say you got vegetables, you got some rice, you got some
meat.
steak.
Yeah, that's 3 burners.
That's 3 right there.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Fair
And I
enough.
only have 2 that work, and they're the 2 front ones, which are arguably the worst ones because you
Yeah.
want them in the back.
Yeah.
Because the smoke goes up.
Yep.
Man,
Life's hard in the
Don't get me going.
the Eric
Yeah.
Brown life.
Don't get me going.
Life's hard.
That's like the big value of buying your own place. Like having a house is you can do whatever you want to it, essentially.
Yep.
But,
I want to paint.
yeah.
I'm a vibe guy. that sounded like an asshole. I'm not a
Yeah.
vibe guy.
Yeah, that was bad.
I have like plants and stuff. I like my space like nice.
Yeah, yeah.
So
of course.
I invest in my space just because it makes me feel good.
Yeah, which is
Like, I got
that's
art
the whole
on the
point of
wall.
having a home.
I got a
Otherwise, you might as well
shitload of
just sleep
plants.
there.
Yeah, I got a shitload
Yeah.
of plants. I got stuff all over my walls. I think it's very odd. If someone is like, let's just take it from an example. Let's just say you're a single guy. You're 28 years old, 30 years old. You're my age. You're 26, but you still look like you live in a college dorm.
Yeah.
Not good.
You know, you got no back. You got no headboard, right, Matt? Matt, you got a headboard
He's
got a
not on
headboard?
camera.
on your mattress? Yes, he
says
does.
yes.
It's because he's a man.
Yeah.
If you respect
It's like
yourself,
dressing nice.
it is. If
Yeah.
like you respect yourself enough, don't you want to have a decent place?
Yeah.
Why do you want to be the messy guy? Like, I hate after kind of college. Like, I feel like at college, you know, you figure out the world, really. Talk to a shitload of people from all over the place. And that's why college is nice. But when you get out of college, hopefully you can get your own spot. Or,
Yeah.
you know, now you're starting to grow up. You respect your shit.
Yeah.
You start buying nicer
And you
stuff.
work hard for it. You're not living
Yeah.
off your mom and dad, you know?
I hate people that are disorganized now.
Oh.
So like someone invites you over to their house
Yeah.
and you like walk into the living room or the kitchen, it's just a fucking disaster. It's like, what? I don't understand.
Yeah.
Too easy to be clean.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
It's really
Yeah.
not. You don't even have to clean that much. You don't have to. When you cook, you clean.
Yep, dude, same. Oh my gosh.
But
that's
if
like
you
the
put-
that's
if
like
you
the
put
organized
dishes in
business
the-
owners in
Yes.
us. Like that's
If you put dishes in the sink and don't wash them like that time,
yeah.
you are a terrible person.
Some people are gonna hate you for this saying that.
Unless
But
you
it's
have
true.
a
grow
unless you-
up, you know. Grow
unless
up.
you have a partner that is like, hey, I got this, you got that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
If that's not, but then also they're gonna take care of the dishes.
Yeah.
For
If you
sure.
cook,
If
they
you're
clean.
a single person, especially dude, I don't care about chicks. If you're a dude,
Yeah.
turn in Andrew Tate podcast. If you're a dude and you are a dirty fucking slub, whatever you want to call him, slob.
Sure.
First of all, like, do you not have respect for yourself?
Yeah. Well, how you do one thing is how you do everything. You know?
Yes.
How you dress is how you're gonna live.
Yep.
What about your car? What's the inside of your car look like, dude?
Yep.
Might as well live in there.
Mhm.
Like some people, it's like, dude, that's your investment.
I judge him by the car too.
Yeah.
I judge him by the car.
Everything. It's like
Now, cars are a little bit harder.
why if you're a single dude, you're only in one seat. Why is the whole car a mess?
Oh, that's true.
You know, like, or like, why are you know?
My car right now, I probably got some papers in there from networking this morning. Some
Okay.
business cards.
Yeah.
I got to return a clothing item I bought that doesn't fit. But other than that, it's like when you get into someone, it's like, yo, I got you guys. Let's all drive down somewhere. And then they're like, oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Just
I got to
throwing
clean out
shit
every
together.
seat. It's like,
Yeah.
what is wrong
Yeah.
with you?
Dude.
Yeah.
But how you do one thing is how
Living
you
clean,
do
though?
everything.
Living clean, like, not even clean. Living like non-clutter.
Tidy.
Yeah.
Non-clutter.
Organized.
Your brain picks up on that.
Yep.
We are not made to have all of the shit.
Oh,
There's
dude,
no way.
Materialistic stuff. I'm
No.
so
Like
minimalistic.
minimalism, yeah. Like if you're hoarding shit, it's spring cleaning time.
Spring
Go
cleaning.
into your house and throw shit out, or go donate it. Even better if it's good enough. Go donate it.
Yeah.
There's a ton of people in St. Louis that don't have a lot of money and that need stuff, and there's a lot of people I know that have a lot of shit that don't need it. Too much stuff. It's like, go
Yeah.
donate
It's
it.
just minimalistic, or not minimalistic. You should be minimalistic. I think it's just hoarding.
Yes.
It's like material stuff. Like that's not
Yep.
like what's the point? you know?
Yep.
Again, like I said, like when people, if you look at when they died, what do they wish they didn't care about all that stuff?
Yep.
You know.
I have 2 suits right now that I need to do something with, and I don't know. I can't make a decision, and it pisses me off. Every single morning I go into my closet and see those 2 suits that I know that don't fit me, but they're still sitting in there because for some reason I can't just go donate them. I'm like, maybe I can get like $100. They're
Yeah.
expensive suits,
Yeah.
but also
They're only gonna fit like one
resale
yeah.
value on a suit is nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Just donate it.
Yeah.
Let
I
somebody
need
else have it.
I need to go donate them.
Yeah.
I'm like, I spent $1,000 on that suit.
Suit
Mm.
supply.
Suit supply.
There you
Yeah.
go.
The pants don't fit me anymore. I got a booty. You know what it is. Shout out ladies that like that, you know.
Shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out.
What
Yeah,
else we got?
I got. Yeah.
I know we're about done on time
Don't
here.
hoard stuff, man. Don't hoard stuff.
No.
Yeah. I just think how you do one thing is how you do everything, and people will see that,
Yes.
It's like, I don't know.
You got anything else?
I got nothing.
Nothing?
I got nothing.
All right.
That was a lot of college talk.
Yeah,
I think it was good.
I did.
This was a good podcast. Hopefully some people learned some stuff. When you listen to podcasts, when I listen to podcasts, kind of like the conversation we had today, I think we had some informative stuff. Obviously, we have our own beliefs, opinions. Not everyone's going to agree. I think we had a good conversation.
Yeah.
Honestly. I think we did.
Yeah, man.
So hopefully everyone learned something. If you like this podcast, please like, review, subscribe, leave a comment, share to a friend. We appreciate everyone's support. We're looking for sponsors in St. Louis. If you'd like to sponsor this podcast, as I brought up before, DM us on any of the channels. You can reach out to me personally, Eric Kemp Brown, across all the platforms. But yeah, our audience is St. Louis. We bring on St. Louis business owners just like Caleb himself here. And we want to support St. Louis. So if you want to get out in front of St. Louis people, let us know. Before we wrap it up, go ahead and tell the people, where can they find you at?
I'm not big on social media. I probably should be, but our company is sethealthsolutions.com. If you're a small business owner and you want to save money, if you have 10 or more employees, go to populationhealthplan.com. We touch a lot on that, but that'll save a company $600 plus per employee per year fixed.
Mm-hmm.
It's a guaranteed savings once I show it to you, and then it'll also increase your employees pay by about $1,500 a year. So your company will save money. You're boosting employees' pay. If I can say, we have a goal right now, or our 2024 goal is to impact 5,000 employees in St. Louis. We're all over the nation.
Yep.
But just in St. Louis, we're on target to hit 5,000 employees. I call it under management. That sounds like managing them, but that are on the plan.
Sure.
Which means that's going to put. I have the numbers here. Actually, I don't remember the math here. So in 2024, we're gonna impact 5,000 employees in the St. Louis area, which will save businesses $6 million a year and increase the employees' pay by $11.5 million.
Let's go.
And that's going to go back in St. Louis.
Yeah.
So if you're a small business owner, you want to save money, the number one trend right now for CEOs, if you look it up on Forbes, is how to save money. That's why Tesla's laying people off. If the big guys are doing it, hopefully you don't have, small businesses shouldn't lay guys off. That's their bread and butter. Don't lay your employees off. Find ways and creative ways to save money.
Yeah.
And not by chopping good things out of it. There's a lot of savings you can get.
Before we get out of here, actually, one last thing. What do you think about the companies that are firing people that don't want to come back to the office?
Do it. Fire them.
Yeah, it depends on what your talent acquisition is. I don't know. I think you should work in an office. I'm a hypocrite because all my people are remote.
I think it's weird when 20 and especially 20-year-olds want to work from home.
Yeah, it's like, why?
I like working from home, but if your employer says come to work and you're like, no, I work from home.
Yeah, fire them.
No, you don't work from home. You work from where your employer tells you to.
There is a small. I would love a study. If there's a study out here, please do it. Show me it.
It's got to be out there.
There is no. The majority of people are not as productive at home.
100%.
Fuck no.
100%.
And all the employers care about is
productivity.
Yeah, but also engagement, because it makes you a better employee. That's part of what we do. Is if your employees are engaged, not only by being at the office, but engaged in things that mean something to them. So finances, health, being educated in different things. That's what the Population Health Plan does. It's if they're engaged, you're going to be a better employer, and they're going to like you. If we can get you out of your, if that employer helps you get out of your mortgage in 5 to 7 years, which we help with, that's going to make you a better employee, and that employer, they're going to love that employer. If they're just chasing for another dollar here, if employees are nowadays, our culture is they're jumping ship every 6 months. It's why? For a couple dollars? So fix that. There's solutions out there to fix that and fix it. Employers should be more on top of how to keep their employees, engage them, and actually care about them.
Well, the non-compete just got waived.
Yeah. Oh, we could have talked about that. That's a big thing.
Now, shout out Will Willis, Accelerate Law here in St. Louis.
Okay.
I'm going to Venmo request you $100 as well, Will. He was actually talking this morning about the non-competes. Now, he says that it has to hit the registrar, and then it's 120 days before it's active. So he said there may be some litigation before.
Yeah, it's not done yet.
Before it even goes to the registrar. So we're still 6 months, 4 months, at least 4 months out. Well, 30, 60, 90. Yeah, 4 months. I did that math.
Yeah.
At least 4 months out. Yeah.
That's the same with that lead thing that we're talking
But
about.
I love it.
Leads.
Non-competes are bullshit. As coming from a business owner, non-competes are bullshit.
Yeah.
If your best person leaves to go to a competitor,
It's your fault.
what you should have is non-disclosures in place so they can't share proprietary information.
Yep.
But inhibiting someone from going to work in the same field that they're in is crazy.
Yeah.
Because let's just say, for example, you, right? Your main thing is insurance. Let's just say you started working for someone and they were like, listen, if you ever leave here for 2 years, you can't do insurance. You have to essentially start over.
Yeah. I've had contracts like that. Yeah. But I think the reason they change it is not. I don't think they care about fair or non-fair. Like whoever is pushing this.
Apparently, it's going to put more money in people's pockets.
100%.
Like, it's I forget the number. Like
for
billions
people with
of dollars.
backbones, though, not the wimps. Like,
Yeah.
But I think the thing is that their right to work laws, which have been around a lot longer, will outdo a non-compete or a cease and desist order.
Sure.
Insurance people love to cease and desist the crap out of you. So their right to work laws will always trump that.
Yep.
So they were just running into like, why do we have all these stupid lawsuits and all these stupid court cases about, oh, you broke your non-compete. Okay, but I have a right to work law that's way stronger. So it was a waste of time in the courts. The non-competes never even prevailed.
Yeah, non-competes usually never were upheld.
They never
anyways.
prevailed. So it's just a waste. It's like, hey, let's just cut it out and be done.
Yeah.
Yep.
And like what a smart business owner wants competition,
Yes.
you know? Like
They also
100%.
want. Also, I think when I saw companies do non-competes. How do I say this? If you are a company that has been in the attitude of always having non-competes for your employees, you're probably not the best company because you're worried about everyone leaving.
Yeah, exactly. It's their fault. It's
Yep.
your fault. That's why like engage your employees.
And people leaving, it's like that's part of life.
Yeah.
You expect everyone to work at a place their whole life?
Some people, I mean, that was
Sure.
the mindset back in the day.
And I honestly, it makes a lot of sense. It
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
It does. If you could find a good company, why would you want to move around all the time?
Yeah.
Unless it's obviously for more money.
Yeah.
But if you're getting more money, go back to your current employer. Be
Yeah.
like, hey, just so you
Yeah.
know, I love it here, but I have an opportunity to make, 10% or 5% more. Not only will the employer respect you, but you might get what you want if you're an important enough person on the team.
Yeah.
If not, more.
Yeah. Which
You
I think,
go, hey,
Yeah.
I'm getting, I got an offer 5% more. It's like, psh,
yeah.
not only will we pay that, but we'll do 10%.
Yeah, that's a whole topic there. But I think, and there's probably a study out this. I'm just pulling this out of what I think. But like, I think employers 100% will pay people more if they are asking for it and they show that they're worth it. It's all
Mhm.
about the value you bring. So stop thinking like an employee and that, oh, I can go get $1 more hourly over there. Start thinking about how can I bring value to this company?
Yep.
Like if you were, there's like companies like there's a service-based companies that are like hourly, but then their hourly is based on like the sales of the last couple of months or whatever. Like, and they're blowing up. The ones that are stuck to just the hourly rates, it's like your guys are not motivated to do
100%.
anything,
So I just found this. Well, I just refound this. So it says, I've always seen many people say I ain't do a single. This is a comment on Instagram. I've always seen many people say I'm not going to do a single thing extra till I get paid. They're usually stuck at the same position for a long time.
Yep.
Sounds about right.
It's ones that do extra before they get paid that are going to the top.
That's how it. So if you're looking for a job, if you're trying to get a job, if you're trying to get a better job, one thing I could say for certain is if you go out of your way to provide value before you ever get hired, that is the easiest way. That is the easiest way to get hired.
Yep.
100%.
Yeah. And
Every time.
If you're in a position, ask the boss, hey, what could I do? I just taught this to a kid the other day, if I say it correctly. It's like, how can I be guaranteed to be in the position that'll bring the most value to the company?
Mhm.
That manager, if he's anything smart, or that owner, CEO will be like, what you just asked, how can I guarantee you to be in a position that brings the most value to my company?
Yep.
Let's go.
That's yes.
Why? Okay. Because they don't care about the money. Because it's always a return. If I pay you $100,000 a year, I'm making $300,000 on you.
Correct.
If you know how to structure your business,
Correct.
So it's like the employees just need to get educated and be like,
Yep.
how can I be guaranteed to be in a position that's going to bring the most value to this company?
I think we've like come under the impression that like work isn't an important part of life.
That's the
It's
greatest
like a-
gift, man.
it's a-
greatest gift of God
it's a-
almost, besides salvation
It's
or
like
kids.
it's like a
Like-
third part. It's like a third of your life.
Yeah.
Work,
yeah.
family and friends. I don't even know what the other third is. People
mean,
say God or religion or whatever,
yeah.
but like
But
in
that's
terms
part
of
of your family and
in
faith
terms
and-
of time,
yeah,
a third of your day is working.
maybe more. If
A
you're-
half of your awake time is working.
yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not it's not one of the more important part of your life. Like,
Yeah, but there's certain powers or people that are trying to make it, like they're trying to make it not important.
yeah,
For whatever reason, it values them. I don't know how that works. Like a working society is a thriving one, and other countries and other things don't want Americans to be thriving.
I think not the government, whoever's in charge
Yeah.
of not only the United States but the world wants everyone reliant.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Drifters.
We
They
don't
want drifters.
We don't. Yes, they want. Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't want business owners
All right.
because we're independent. We don't need you. We don't want you.
Yeah.
We definitely don't want you to be taking all our money.
That's right.
Yeah. Right.
But all the government tax codes, if not are written for business owners that take advantage of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like so. Yeah, I don't know. Just educate yourself.
We'll solve the tax problem on the next episode. All right, real quick. Again, if you would, say your domain, say the websites where people could find you at. We'll put them in the descriptions as well so everyone can find them.
So sethealthsolutions.com
Perfect.
or calebknuth.com. We're also taking everything I have.
Okay,
Yep.
wonderful. Well, Caleb, it was a pleasure having you on. However, that is all the time we have for this week. We will be back next week. New episode, new guests, and more of myself and Adam here. If you're watching live or later, we said something wrong, said something you hate, or said something you want to hear more about. We hit on a couple of those.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment. DM myself. Adam Ferris here. He would love to get some hate on Instagram, so feel free, send him some hate.
That's right.
Finally, we recorded this episode at Half Coast Studios. Look at this beautiful stand that's no longer in the way of my face. This is great. If you're looking for a professional ran studio, shout out to the guys at Half Coast Studios. They're here in Creve Coeur, halfcoaststudios.com. You got Matt back there spinning the ones and twos. You also got Alex and the team making sure you're well taken care of. The audio and video are, 99% of the time on point.
Top tier.
Sometimes a little bit off.
I like it.
All right, it's been a pleasure talking to you today, Caleb. Thank you for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for being fluid, by the way. I know we had to move some stuff around, so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
We'll see everyone again next week, 7 a.m. Central Standard Time. Peace.
Cool.
Let's get it.
See ya.
Hey there, St. Louis podcast listeners. We've got some exciting news from our sponsor, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the man, the myth, the legend, Mark Lee. Mark Lee of Farmers Insurance is recruiting agency owners here in St. Louis.
That's right, Garrett, and everyone knows what Farmers Insurance is, and if they don't, they will now.
Yes, it's kind of a household name. That said, as many of you know, a large part of our audience is made up of badass business owners, entrepreneurs, and top producing sales professionals with an open mind like yourself. Farmers Insurance is currently searching for driven individuals who aspire to own their own business or already own their own business and want to add another income stream to join the Farmers Insurance brand and own their own insurance agency.
This is a stellar opportunity to build your own insurance agency from scratch, take over an existing agency, or if you're just a slow roller, we know you, the guys out there and ladies, get paid to train under an existing successful agency owner before starting your own.
Holy shit, Eric. That means that whether you have experience as a business owner or you've never heard the word business before in your life, there's a pathway to owning your own business through Farmers Insurance Agency led by Mark Lee.
That's right. You can become a Farmers Insurance business owner even if you've been homeless in the past, just like you.
Yeah, thanks.
If you've ever dreamt of being your own boss, building a team under a reputable brand, and making a difference in your community by offering top-tier auto, home, and commercial insurance to consumers and businesses in your area, Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, led by the godlike man himself, Mark Lee, has the perfect opportunity for you.
Visit insurancecareerstl.com to speak with Mark Lee, the district manager of Farmers Insurance of St. Louis, to become a Farmers Insurance agency owner today.
Did you hear that, St. Louis? Go visit insurancecareerstl.com. Insurancecareerstl.com. That is INSURANCE. Career, CAREERSTL.com.
To become a business owner today, again, one more time, visit insurancecareerstl, as in St. Louis.com today. right now, this second, or reach out to us at stlouispodcast.com and we'll introduce you to Mark Lee ourselves. And I promise he won't spell out insurance and career to you.